the beginning of the... Welcome, everybody, to our year in review, Liverpool City Region Employer Network, inspiring our workforce together. A year in review. I was just saying, this is our academic year, so we're kind of taking a look back from September 2024 all the way to now, and what a year it's been. We've got a lot of things to get through today, as always, and we will be sending this recording out to all the people in our network, which is working quite well. If you've got any feedback about or our kind of follow-up stuff, you know, sending out the slides, sending out the recordings, the newsletter that goes out, that would be great. We've got some work to do over the summer, just doing a little bit of tweaking with obviously we've got our lovely new branding displayed. We've got great, gorgeous pull-up banners, and oh, did we say there's a badge? If you haven't got a badge, you need to come see us. So it's exciting. We're excited for the new year. But today we're going to do a little bit of a reflection piece, a little bit of a look back for our year in review. That's me, Michelle Dow. Exciting year for us as we've kind of changed our branding. We are fully all about futures now. All about inspiring young people to consider their future careers. So you'll see that our emails have changed, our logos have changed. Yeah, don't talk to me about the other things that I need to change, because things keep popping up and I keep going, oh, need to change that as well. We are the same team doing the same amazing stuff, just a slight tweak on our branding and our name change. So the plan for today, quick look with lovely Leslie Ann about EqualX, which is the kind of new statutory kind of advice from government. Talk a little bit about modern work experience. We've been very lucky in the Liverpool City region. We've been part of a pilot that Leslie Ann's going to tell you all about. So we've already been doing it. We're one step ahead, and Gemma's going to give you an update on the experience of the workplaces that happened. I was going to say ages ago, but it really wasn't. It was only a couple of weeks ago. A little talk about our SME campaign, and then just a quick chat. We're going to have a little chat. You know, this is a little bit of a reflect, like what we've done over the last year. Maybe we can have a little chat about what we do, you as employers find useful for our network for the new year. So without further ado, I did ask about holiday plans for those who are joining late. So the chat might just have random places that people want to visit in. Yeah, holidays are coming, everyone. First off today, we've got the lovely Leslie Ann, and she's going to talk to us all about modern work experience. Over to you, Leslie Ann.
Thank you, Michelle. Good morning, everyone. I'm Leslie Ann Craig, the Operational Hub Lead for the Liverpool City Region Careers Hub. So I lead on our employer engagement strategy. And as Michelle says, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about a pilot that we are a part of, the EqualX pilot. Oh, I'm just running ahead of my slides there. So a number of you probably already heard of EqualX, heard our update, especially if you were at the conference, you will know all about the work we are doing. But for those who are yet to hear about the pilot we are on, we are one of 4 on a national pilot, and we are working and testing on how we can realise the Labour government's ambition to provide young people, every young person across the country, with 2 weeks worth of work experience. Now, the key word there is worth. This isn't about a block week in year 10 or a block week in year 12 with one employer. This is about multiple progressive experiences across a student's whole school life from year 7 onwards, so that they can really test Liverpool City Region's labour market, get a flavour of what's out there, and make an informed careers decision. So the encounter with an employer, it could be half an hour, could be an hour, a morning, a day. We are totally ripping up the rule book of how things used to be with that block work experience. I heard recently that the last time work experience had been changed was 1985. That's before I was born. Edu education changes so rapidly. There's a new initiative all the time. You know, educators' heads are spinning, and yet we've got work experience that's never changed since 1985. So we've got an opportunity here as part of that pilot to be part of this change and change things for young people. So you can see there's different stages of the pilot of how we introduce young people to the world of work through work experience. There's introduce and inspire, so higher volume, lower depth, just developing self-awareness of young people, inspiring them, seeing what's out there. They go to the investigate and explore portion of work experience where they really start to understand growth sectors, exploring different roles within those growth sectors. And then by the time they progress throughout their school life, their work experiences will focus around applying and demonstrating all the skills and knowledge they've learned so far in the workplace. So the circle on the slide there, that represents the learning objectives that come with each of those themes to ensure encounters with employers are meaningful for young people. I'm just going to move my slide on. Now you'll hear this, you've been hearing me use this word equalex, and I've heard all kinds of creative, shall we say, variations of how people pronouncing it. I've heard it pronounced equinox, equibob, equalex, equilex. So just to break down for you what it stands for is we've got the word equitable, students who need it most. Quality, again, back to those learning objectives that I showed you, those three different phases that we can draw upon to make sure students are getting the most out of their experiences. And again, that last word is experiences, multiple progressive experiences. Now, I think as equitable as the first word, it should really be pronounced equilex. But my Scouse accent really leans into that E sound, and I keep saying equilex. But, you know, hopefully now that I help you remember the title of the pilot. So last time we were on here, we've actually shot to fame. The work we've been doing in the city region featured on the BBC One's The One Show. So 9 million people viewed our Equilex pilot in actual full force. So we would really love to show that to you now, show you what it looks like in practice, what it means to young people, what it means to their parents. And then once we've shown that, I will just finish off by giving you an update on the findings of where our pilot's up to and what our next steps are. So what have we found so far? Well, really, we've found multiple examples of really great, you know, life-changing experiences for young people. We had a school in St Cuthbert who had an encounter based in Edge Hill University, and the student walked in and said to their careers leader, I can't come here, I'm from Parr in St Helens, and they left saying they were going to apply to go to the university. So, you know, there are those heroic, inspirational events as we talk about. It's all based on good relationships between employers and schools and colleges, and we as the careers hub and all about futures are thinking about how do we foster that, how do we make that more long term. I love another lovely example was Jaguar Land Rover on the pilot who've been able to adapt their experiences to different for different types of students. So they started with the mainstream students in a mainstream school. They've adapted their experience for students with special educational needs and students who are in alternative education settings. So it's all been really encouraging. But what we have to think about now is, are these relationships consistent? Are they strategic? Are they long term? So what we're going to look at in the next part of our work on Equilex is how do we scale up the volume? How do we make it so we've got more depth and more students can benefit from this? How do we establish those long-term partnerships? And almost, as you can see there, define a new language. Schools and business talk, as Michelle actually said earlier, different calendars, different languages. How do we make it so we're all on the same page? So it's actually changed how the Careers Hub are going to work with our schools and colleges going forward. So we are going to group, we will always offer that one-to-one support, but we are going to group our schools into local authority areas. We are going to, through that, set up opportunity forums where once a term we all come together, a key head teacher to co-chair it with a key employer, and we bring all the careers leaders together and we talk through these ideas of how we make this for each LA continue and grow and grow and grow. And in terms of employer network members, obviously, the flexibility of the given hour calendar and the masterclasses, that's always going to stay. This network is flexible for whatever people are comfortable with getting support, getting involved in. But those opportunity forums and working with the schools in that way really brings an opportunity for employer network members to get really embedded with our schools and colleges. And if you are interested in being involved in the next phase of Equal and coming along with us, there's a really wonderful framework all set up for us to ready to go and basically just show the rest of the country how we are at the forefront of this modern work experience. So that's pretty much me in terms of the Equal world. Has anyone got any questions or anything? I'll move on to Gemma. No?
Everyone's quiet so far. You've just
Oh,
explained it so fabulously, Leslie Ann.
thank you, Gemma.
Brilliant. Obviously, we're going to continue all the work that we're doing across the Equalex pilot, and as they start to roll out that new statutory guidance, there'll be lots of different things that we learn from and that we do, try to incorporate in the network as well. And we kind of flashed up the learning outcomes there, and one of the things that I suppose I wanted to point out is that I think whenever we say things need to be aligned to outcomes and objectives, people start to panic. But one of the things that has came out of what we've been doing, in particular with Unilever, who we've been working with for a really long time, I think going into year 10 next year, we might have some sort of party, is that actually the work they were already doing is incredibly easily aligned to the EqualX model with literally one or two tweaks. And pretty much any of the things that you are doing or you're thinking about doing are probably going to hit at least one or two of those, outcomes. And if you do need a hand with that, that's what we're here for as a network, to kind of help you make that meaningful, help you make it outcome and objective driven. But I just wanted to touch on, I suppose, we've said a year in review. Here at All About Futures, we've been incredibly busy, not just with the employer network. We've done 20 IT funded days. We've done 3 Unilever on-site days and a celebration day. We have done 10 Unilever challenges, 6 Scottish Power workshops, and 12 experiences of the workplace since June last year. And there's definitely more that I'm missing. So it has been really, really busy, but it just shows you the schools are out there. They want to engage with employers. They want to do good things, and they want their young people to have these experiences. So I'm just going to touch on, and I do apologise if you see Michelle at the Employer Network, at the employer conference, these are some of the same slides in here, so you might have seen them before, but I wanted to touch on the successes of those experiences of the workplace days that we've run across the Liverpool City region, and one in Cheshire and Warrington as well, with the Cheshire and Warrington Careers Hub. I know we've spoken to you about them before, but most recently in June, which, as Michelle said, feels like absolutely ages ago, and it really wasn't at all. It was only a couple of weeks ago. We did one day with our fabulous game changers, called Console to Career, which showed them about careers in the games industry. So we had 125 students there with those 5 different employers working to do hands-on activities and learn more about the world of games in the Liverpool City region. The thing that always comes out of these events is that they are really, really surprised there is more than just jobs in coding and programming. We actually didn't have any coders or programmers there on the day. We had character design, we had things about AI and HR and CV writing. We had PlayStation there, who are one of the biggest employers that we've got on board at Game Changers. We had, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, we had a workshop on sound and audio design, so it really was a big, big mix. We also had 4 fabulous employers come the day before to talk about just careers and different digital things. So we had Ramble, we had the lovely Liva Labs, we had LMA come along, and we also had the NHS as well, who showed, again, about 100 students and their teachers all about jobs that use digital skills. So not just, again, jobs in coding, jobs that use little bits and pieces of different digital elements. The one thing I wanted to say about these events, I suppose, is we've been as I said, perfecting them across 12 different events that we've run since June last year, and they have been an absolutely massive success. And I've finally got some stats from the 6 events that we ran in March that I'll flag up in a little minute. But they've not just been a success for the students and the careers leaders, they've been a success for the employers as well. So I've got some of that feedback to show you as well. The one thing that always comes out when we try to explain these events to people, and I think it's something you have to come along and see and feel almost to understand how they work and how they kind of flow. So we have 5 employers who do 45-minute workshops with up to 125 students. And I suppose collaboration is key. And by that, I don't just mean with other employers in your sector, although that works incredibly well. It's collaboration with us, it's collaboration with the Careers Hub to make sure that we can get the best out of you and we can get the best out of the students on the day. We provide full support, so the safeguard and the health and safety, we can do training, we can help you with the delivery, and what we're going to start doing much more of is aligning to those EqualX outcomes, which we've always had in the back of our head since we started doing these events as part of the EqualX pilot. One of the biggest, I suppose, key successes, and of this collaboration and what we've managed to achieve is our fabulous game changers. So I just wanted to give a big nod to them. We were commissioned originally by the Careers Hub in June 2024 to do these 3 Experience of the Workplace days. They were the first days we'd done. They were very much a kind of test and learn situation, and they went absolutely brilliantly. I mean, so much so that we've been commissioned to do 9 more since. It was a collaboration between 14 employer partners and also other institutions and universities and colleges. We reached over 300 students across the 3 days, and it really helped to show us what it's like when people in the same sector, in the same industry, come together to maximise their impact, but to take the input off them. So not everyone has to do every day. Not everyone has to come along to all 3 days, although we did have some employers that did, which was absolutely brilliant. But it really helps us to reach a wide range of students, show them what's out there, and get them to see a specific industry, a specific sector, which is really hard to say. It was so good, in fact, that we are cited in the CEC Employer Standards Guide. So if you complete that self-assessment tool, you will see that Game Changers is in there as one of the activities, I think off the top of my head, under Gatsby Benchmark. It comes under Gatsby Benchmark 6, but now I can't remember what the actual employer standard is that it comes under. If someone can remember, they can jump in, but you will see that on there as one of the examples. So it really is just something to celebrate. So if you're on this call and you want to work with us more closely to do things like this, if you're from a sector or you're from a business that might have different departments and things, then we can hopefully work together to pull off some of these days in the future. We're very much hoping that they will be embedded further into the EqualX model as we go forward. As I said, you don't just have to take it from us how fabulous these are. I've just popped up some of the brilliant employer feedback there that we've got from some of our employers. So this is from the lovely Peel Ports who came across to 2 different days. And we really just wanted to pull out some of the things that these people have said. So if you already don't believe us how brilliant they are, hopefully you can see there what the brilliant team have mentioned. The next one I've got here as well is from Ramble. So they very much mentioned that as a business, they really want to make a big impact, but they can be quite time poor. So that is one of the biggest things that they found from these Experience of the Workplace days. Not having to do the logistics, not having to do this, the introductions, not actually having to have students on site can be such a big thing for people as well. We take you to this almost impartial place, usually at Hope University, and we have everything set up and good to go. So if that hasn't already convinced you, and hopefully it has, we also have brilliant feedback from the careers leaders. So talking about the fact that they would never be able to bring together multinational companies to attend a single school event, which is one of the biggest major impacts for them. and also on the students as well. So we've not actually released these figures. It took a little while for me to be able to dig into the different data, but we asked students a series of different questions in the surveys that we gave them, and 75.3% agreed or strongly agreed that they learned about careers they didn't know existed. 88.3% agreed or strongly agreed that they learned new things about different businesses, and almost half agreed or strongly agreed that they would now consider a career in advanced manufacturing, Freeport, or life sciences, because that was the days that we evaluated these on. And I think that's one of the strongest things to come out of this. We would obviously love 100% of students to come away going, yeah, I really want a job in that. It's just not realistic. So what we know we've managed to do is we've shown these students about different careers, about different sectors, and they can now make an informed choice about whether it's for them, whether they might consider it, whether they definitely don't want to consider it going forward. And that's a really, really valuable kind of impact statement that we managed to get out of that as well. Got a couple of different things here that you can see as well, and that one about learning new skills. So it's not always just about learning what the business does, but it's those employability skills. It's learning to do different things that they might not get a chance to work on within school is really important as well. I'm going to just see if anyone has any questions. I did see a little question for Leslie Ann in the chat. So that was just Deb asking, how do you indicate if you're interested in seeing the framework for working with local authority groups?
I'll be in touch, Deb. I'll send you an email. We can have a little chat.
I knew she was going to say that. No, that's absolutely brilliant. If anyone does have any questions about the different experience the workplace days, about what we've been doing as part of the Equalect pilot, please do let us know. I know some of you have been at the conference, you might have had a chance to speak to Michelle already, but I know for some of you this will be completely new. So if you do want anything, if you do want more information, please let us know. As I said, our main job here is to kind of sit in between the schools and you guys to make sure whatever you're doing is as impactful as possible. And I just want to touch on one last thing before we go into a bit of a discussion before our last networking meeting before the end of the year is on this fabulous SME campaign. So you can see lovely Leslie Ann and Jill posing with the fabulous counsellor, and Erica from the Careers Hub, and Aaron and Shirley from Lucid Games. This happened a couple of months ago. I'm saying a couple of months ago, it was only a couple of weeks ago. See, like, time has no meaning anymore. It was on the 24th of June at the Daffodil Boat, and it went absolutely swimmingly. And we've spoken about it at a couple of different employer network meetings. We've teased you with different adverts and different things. But this is very much about making it as easy as possible for SMEs to engage with work experience. So I'm just going to play the full little advert as a last little video for us. If you can't hear it, give me a shout, but hopefully this just works. Nice.
As a business, we know how important workplace experiences are, but it's always been so tricky for us.
There's so much secrecy around new games. Our NDAs really restrict who's allowed into our studio.
Game Changers was exactly what we needed. It was a fully supported Careers Hub initiative that allowed us to offer hundreds of kids a really valuable experience without having anyone at our secure offices.
Game Changers was brilliant. Learned all about making video games and spoke to loads of people in the industry.
So we ran a design workshop and gave everyone the opportunity to create their own unique characters.
It was also a great opportunity to show off lots of different roles in the industry. So even if they're not that interested in drawing or whatever, there's something for everyone.
Thanks to Game Changers and the Careers Hub, I got one foot in the door and bags of contacts already.
One conversation could be the little push that changes everything and gives someone that confidence to think, you know what, I could do that.
The Careers Hub showed us that difficult doesn't mean impossible. So if you want to offer workplace experiences but something is getting in the way, just pick up the phone. If they can help us, they can help anyone.
I just really wanted to finish on that lovely little note before we go into our discussions. Obviously, we have been working with our game changers for I was going to say a long time. So for about two years, we are just about to start our year 2 report. So it's very much been a kind of work in progress, and we've learned lots along the way. And as I said, they were I was going to say guinea pigs, which sounds terrible. They helped us test and learn through our experience of the workplace events. But I think if the games industry can do it, which has 100 hurdles to get through, they also don't have any kind of CSR requirements or anything like that as well. They are very much just doing this because they want to inspire the next generation. Then I think anyone can really do it. And as the slogan goes, let's make it work. Please get in touch if you want to, especially if you're at that SME business and you want to see how you can help students. I can see Michelle's unmuted if you want to jump in.
No, I was just ready to take over. I, actually, normally I talk loads, and I've sat back and listened today. One of the things that I kind of just wanted to point out with some of the stuff that was going on, this all looks super shiny. The pictures of the kids from Experience of the Workplace looks like we've got some stock photos of like smiley kids. There are kids. There are kids that came to our events. The video from the one show again, real mums, real people, real impact to the young people, and the teachers as well in our area. And again, our fancy schmancy SME video, like we've got so glossy over the last couple of years. We've refined what it is that we're doing, and it looks absolutely brilliant. But I think it's actually like, I need us to remember we're having this massive impact for our kids in our area by the collaborative stuff that's been going on. It's dead exciting, and as Gemma said, we are a little bit tired, but we can't wait for September, and we're bringing you all with us. So that's kind of the warning, really, because we say we're going to do all these things in the summer holidays, so that means you're all going to get pestered. So we're gonna move on, and we're gonna have a little bit of just like an open forum, really. We're on 20 to 12. We don't have to go bang up to 12 o'clock. And do you know what? If we're all quiet and we want an early dot, that's okay too. But I was just gonna open the open the call up, really, to we've done a little bit of a reflection, a little bit of a look back. Is there something Gemma pointed out like really good, and I wrote it down. There's nothing to be scared of with this new modern work experience. You can kind of adapt what you've already got. Most things are tweakable. So we've had a little bit of a look back, but I want to have a little think about what we have to kind of, what does our offer look like now? Do we want to add or change anything? And is there anything in particular that you want to see in the new year from us? We have tried really hard to be employer-led on this network, and I think hopefully it's making a difference for everyone. The local authority meetings have come directly out of the network as well. That's been an ask to get kind of like linked up more from an LA point of view. But I'm going to shut up, and I'm going to open the floor. Should we be polite? If you want to stick your hands up, if anyone's got any answers to them questions. Okay, we've had someone, HR would need to add their meetings as they organise events through for the apprenticeship. Cool. Yeah. The network, as I say, we are open to all. There's been a lot of data cleansing and stuff as well over the last kind of couple of weeks. Everybody going through the proper steps to be a fully badged member of the network. What do you think,
Michelle,
Leslie?
can I just add to that? The HR team at Stellantis are members of the network, so they've been so they do get all the invites, and I work quite closely with Megan, so I know she's totally up to date with what's going on. But in your own time, encourage her to pop along, you know, because she has got the invite in an inbox, and if you could follow up as well and just encourage them to pop along, we'd love to see them there. Will.
To be honest, we have had Stellantis apprentices at our apprenticeship sessions on Experience the Workplace, and they were great. There's almost, that's kind of reminded me, there's almost a role for everyone as well, and a time slot for everyone. So our Experience the Workplace days is a full day, and some people can't commit to a full day. We've had people send apprentices for the morning and apprentices for the afternoon. You know, we're you know, a full day, a long day. You set up kind of 9 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock, and you're gone for 3. I'm seeing Sam nodding. I know CI Games were involved in the Game Changers one, and it's intense. It's intense, you know, to do 5 workshops back to back, 25 kids in each workshop. Everybody does need a lie down in a dark room, but the impact is huge. The impact is huge, and getting to see that many young people in one day, it is a lot. Yeah, you're all very quiet today. Oh, that's nice. Nice to be able to get back. Well, hopefully we're trying to make it as easy as possible to get involved in. I love that. I don't know if you myself and the kids seem to love the kids do love the activities. We've got a million evaluations to go through to kind of put some stats behind all the things that we've been doing as well. And we've got a million photos as well of smiley kids. It's exciting. I'm going to say that your silence is we're doing everything right, and you're getting what you need from the network.
Claudia's got her hand up.
Claudia, sorry, go Claudia.
Hi everyone. So my name's Claudia. I'm from Aspire Recruitment. So I work in the recruitment agency. So we have like lots of insight to different employers. We also do a lot of interview preparation, CV writing. So we could always come into either schools or events and help the children
Brilliant.
to train them up. And as I said, working in an agency, we do work with lots of different industries, companies, so we have that kind of insight rather than just on one specific role. We can speak about lots of different general roles. So yeah, it's really we're really pleased to be part of the group.
Brilliant. Thanks, Claudia. Yeah, be careful putting your hand up because you get sucked into volunteering with things. Just everyone in the network's going, don't put your hand up, don't put your hand up.
Yeah,
Nicola,
we are only new to the network as well. So it'd be good to see, in the next year what we can help with.
No,
Yeah,
that's
fab.
brilliant. And the safari park, yeah, Nicola, I hope you noticed in some of them pictures there was definitely kids holding safari
Lemurs.
park animals. That was part of the workshop as well. And yes, STEM is a big part of careers. Just again on that, our change in name is not that we're not doing anything around STEM. We're focusing on STEM in the kind of broadest broadest kind of approach. We do bring it up as much as we can, but again, yeah, I suppose you're right. It depends on the job being introduced to the children. Deb, no problem at all. We've done a lot of development this year with different people's materials. Critical friend is where we sit, and we are kind. That's what we're here for. And one of the things that I am saying on our next steps is that we've got 3 things. If you want to chat across the summer, no problem. Book a quick call with us. We can go through whatever it is that you want to do. Keep an eye out for the relaunch, which is going to happen mid-September. That's going to be face-to-face. That's relaunch with the new branding and all that kind of thing. And just again, another final push out There's 3 steps required to remain a member of the network and get your shiny badge. So it is well worth it. In fact, there's I'm just going to say, Leslie, and there's some super shiny merch. It's not just badges, is it? We do have some nice things, so it's well worth making sure you've got your 3 steps in and spread the word. Claudia just said part of a bigger team. We're not saying you have to come to every meeting. We'll send the recordings out. We'll send the info out. Get the 3 steps done and recommend a friend. We want to grow the network, because if there's more of us doing the engagement and the interactions and all the different things with our young people across the city region, it's not kind of pushing on one company, one sector. It's super collaborative. It's sharing the load. It does feel like it now needs to be Christmas next week, because this is kind of our end of term. I'd also like to point out, Leslie Ann, when you're saying work experience hasn't changed since 1985, that was only about 20 years ago. So like, it wasn't as long as we all think.
That's what I meant, 20 years.
20 years ago.
Still a
Yeah.
long time in education.
Just, oh my days, getting old. So have an absolutely wonderful summer, whether you are off to foreign climates, getting new houses, staycationing, or camping with a 2-year-old. It's been lovely. I think we should all give ourselves a big round of applause, a big pat on the back for all the amazing stuff that we have done over this last academic year. Go us, at the forefront. Watch this space. This year the One Show is going to be like a short movie. Next year, we're going to just
Netflix.
Netflix series. Yeah, are we all going to decide which famous person is going to play us on the big screen? Maybe that's the next question. Who would play you in a movie for the next session? Thanks everyone. We've finished early. We can have an early dart and an early lunch. Thank you so much. We're just going to hang on and have a little gossip afterwards. Feel free to stay on. If not, book a call with us and we can have a quick chat and a catch up. Deb, no problem about sorting material or stuff like that. Have a great summer, everyone. And we will stop recording. See you later.
Oh, lovely to meet you. Thank you.